Hi, everyone, and welcome. This is Krishna Priya. This is the Human Colony Hucolo webinar. It's Saturday, the 29th of July, 2023, and we are starting today on time, much probably due to the dismay of the audience who is still getting their coffee, but we're we're going back to starting on time. So welcome to everyone. Today we have in the room myself, Michelle, Barbara, Ryan, Angie, Jennifer, and we also have Jim and Selesh, and more people coming in all the time. So we'll say hello to them as they enter. We have some announcements. We'll get started with our announcements and then we'll go to blessings. Go ahead, Angie.
Hi, welcome everybody. We have our gathering scheduled for next year, August 8th through 12th, 2024. It is $695 a person. It includes everything. And if you're interested, please email classes@hucolo.org and I will get information out to you about that. I am going to include, not right now, but in the recording, I'm going to include the link to both the registration and the flyer in the recording to this. Once we get this done, I'll take and go ahead and put that in. If you are interested, again, it's classes@hucolo.org. Jim, would you like to say anything about the gathering?
I think that it's going to be, there's going to be quite a few people there. We already have, what, 12?
13.
We already have 13 people signed up. And so that's a wonderful thing. And I think more will sign up as we go on. And there will be some surprise guests, I have a feeling.
Awesome. I'm excited. Yay, very good. Okay, and Barbara has an announcement. Go ahead, Barbara.
Michelle.
Oh, did you have anything else to add? Sorry.
Yes, I did also want to add that our own Krishna Priya was named top 10 on the Psychic Source. There's over 200 readers in there, and she was just announced in the top 10.
Thank you.
Amazing to you. Amazing to you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
You're welcome. And it was Michelle that had an announcement.
Oh, Michelle.
Hi, everyone. I just wanted to announce that we do every day now. We do a energy send out to send to people and places on the planet in need of it. And Karen just brought to my attention the dogs in Rishikesh. So that's another thing we'll add to our healing circle. But we gather, and any intention you have for people or places, we just put in the circle. We all focus on it and state our intentions. And we've seen amazing results. You know, things are happening right in front of our eyes that, you know, is kind of mind blowing, really. But it's just been a very positive, godly thing, and God is very much a part of all that we do. So, the link is going to be in the Hucolo Facebook main page. You'll see the link there, and it's a very powerful gathering. So for you and your family, and whatever else on the planet that's going on.
Okay, perfect. So if you want to also give me the link, I can put it in the description of this video.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. We'll do that as well. All right. So let me unspotlight you now. Let me see. There we go. Okay, so we'll start with some blessings. We have Barbara and Michelle doing a blessing, and Angie. All right. And we'll go in that order. Bola, we'll have you do it at the end. Okay. Barbara, you're first.
I'm first. I'm seeing Kara. No toko shana haki seato kiki mini adnakiashi. Kosho hono gorati atkiasho. Kana hiata hisiato kushi. Peke adna hakosho asa. Keshi anasho no koshaya. Keshi asho to kushi. Shina hakashia hakosha. Kisha Hiatahaka Hiasha. Namaste.
Namaste.
Very good. It is that there are many species watching over this planet and many beings that are trying to bring in good energy for this world. So it is now that is time for you to be aware of all the different beings that are around the planet trying to help. It is not that they are trying to hinder, but they are trying to expand your mind and bring you into a thought process of understanding. It is time for this.
Thank you.
This one is from God. Tia koro dia nyaha, dia go nyaha ragare diada. Tia koro dori kia taradoro go nyaha. Ia nya o ia koro do. Tia koro nyaha, kia darado. Ta. Namaste.
Namaste.
My children, gather up your thoughts and informations and know what is true. Follow me in the divine light, and your path will be bright. You will know where to go because of what you are doing, and the opportunities will open before you because you are doing the right things. I am with you always, and love you, and guide you, and direct you. And this is the word for today.
Angie.
Atohoros no kotuchura ata. Biarata kunu utu ura asana yataka ara. Tu ura iti pigma to kuchkta. Ono ora asaniataka. Ura utura unukoto ura amayataka ara.
Keep your thoughts on the right path and your energies on the right path, and you will go far. It is that you create your own world around you. You create that which is very positive, or you create that which is very negative. So observe that whatever you do, you are creating all the time, because you, most of you, are high creator beings, and the rest of you are still creator beings in your own right. So remember that you are creating the realm around you. The very thought of something happening may create it somewhere. So keep your mind on the positive and on the good.
Wonderful. Okay, perfect. Let me see here. Jim, I'm going to spotlight you.
All right.
There we are. And if everyone else can just turn off their cameras in a moment, including me. Okay. There we go. All right. So let's do some requests. We have a few here. We have the highest aspect of Anil, Elijah.
Enlo. It's Enlo.
Enlo.
Oh,
So-
Envil, yeah.
Oh, I can't read. Enlo. Sorry. Highest aspect of Enlo, Elijah, Takur, Valiant, Thor, the Kalindi, and yeah.
No
Barbara, you-
requests in YouTube.
Okay. And did anyone in here, anyone that wasn't here when we started, do you have a request? Dorian's from Bulla.
Mushroom people,
Mushroom people. Okay.
yes.
Cis Crystal Dragon. And okay, you do have two people in your room. Who do you have in your room?
I
Jim?
have 3 people in my room.
Oh my goodness, they slipped in. Who's there?
Announce yourselves.
James.
James, okay.
Margie.
Margie?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, yes, Donna's here too.
And Donna.
Donna, James, and Margie.
Okay, well, welcome to you all as well.
Very good. Thank you for
Yes.
coming.
Okay.
Okay, we
All
have
right.
a couple from the YouTube now. Inner Earth People and Toth the Atlantean.
Oh, yeah, okay. Toth the
The
Atlantean.
Atlantean. Okay,
Okay,
that was a different time period, yes.
yeah. All right. So do you have all of that or do you want me to tell it again?
Go ahead and do them again because they added some and so.
Okay, Toth the Atlantean. Who did you have in your thing, Angie? Tothi, Atlantean, and who else?
Inner Earth people.
Inner Earth people. We had from in your room the mushroom people.
Correct.
And then Valiant, Thor, the Kalindi, Takur, Elijah, the highest aspect of Enlil. Enlil, and was there any the Aldorians and a crystal dragon?
Lot. Okay, good ones. All right, very good.
Okay, perfect. Okay. So we
Let's
will
see who comes.
yeah, and we will see you when you get back. Welcome.
Thank you.
It's 11:11, everyone. Make a wish. Okay.
Greetings, I am Elijah. There is a great sense of urgency on the planet because things are changing so quickly. The weather is becoming more harsh and more active. Everyone is questioning what will be next and what will happen in the future. It is true that the things that are happening now will continue. The weather will not get better. I am certain, I am unhappy to tell you that, but it is true that it will continue to get worse because man has created some of this weather and cannot control it as well as he thought he could. Also, the axis is off a little, the jet stream is off, and so is the equator. So there are many things that are affecting the weather and the jet streams at this time. So it will be apparent now and in the future. I want you to know, though, that these are tests for mankind to overcome what is here. They have created their own testing grounds, and they must overcome their own testing grounds. They must realize that God is not going to pull them out of it until they realize what they have done wrong and correct it. But God is merciful and will be with them as they discover these things and as they know these things and as they become aware of these things. Remember this, that mankind in a state of emergency always pulls through. He seems to find the will and the way when things get rough. So we're hoping that that will happen again. I believe I see that already starting. But remember, we have to cut down on fossil fuels and things of this nature. So move forward in a positive future. We are going to do everything we can for this planet. I know that there is a great deal of concern about the UAPs that the Congress is talking about, because they are the ones that are saying that they may be dangerous or harsh. So there's a mixed message in there with the Congress and with these people that are speaking out. So make sure we can bring a positive aspect to all of this. Speak positively of the aliens that you know. Speak positively of the love and the guidance that you have received from them in the past. Speak fondly and kindly of God and Jesus and all the different deities that are here to help. There are many. There is so many that you have a good choice to pick from. If you have any questions about yourself, now is a good time to do an introspection. Now is a good time for you to understand where you're going. Many people just sit around and think that God is going to come to them and whoosh, they're going to be in a mission. But you have to do the work for it before it can happen. You have to pray. You have to be devout. You have to live your life in a proper way. He's not just going to lift you up for sitting there and doing nothing or just meditating. Meditation can be very easy. It can bring you a lot of information, but it is not your mission to just meditate. It is not your mission just to pray. It is your mission to use what you find out in the world today. It is a time of action and not a time of sitting around. Now, some of you say, that's all I can do. I have a bad leg, I have a bad back, I have whatever. There are other things you can do as well. When people come around you, you can actually be positive, beautiful, loving, and kind. And kindness is something that we need more of in this world in abundance. Because since COVID, everybody has been sort of separated one from another. Things are starting to come back together now. So unify, become one as a people, become one as friends, and understand each other. Even though you may not always like each other's ways or means at times, you can love the part of them that is God. You can love the part of them that is positive. You can love the part of them that is love and gives out that positive vibe. Remember to connect to all the positive things in the people around you. It is not for you to go around telling them what's wrong with them. It is for you to go telling them what's right with them, so that they can bring more right to the surface, more positivity to the surface. If you sit around and tell them that they're not doing well, that's not going to help. They're going to say, I know, and still dwell in the negativity and not move forward. You must be a light and a guide. I've only said it 1,000,000 times now, but I'll say it 1,000,001. You are the one that is the light in the world. You must shine. You must be the answer to some questions. You must act. I love you, my children. God says that, and he means it. For he is not just out there sitting doing nothing. Of course, he is creating. He is understanding. He is telling all those that are in his service how to help humanity, how to help other species, and how to help themselves. It is a time of great action, movement, understanding, doing. It is not a time to sit and be lazy. Laziness will get you nowhere. And God is not coming to your door to bring you out into the street to do this work. You must do this. You must have what it takes to do what is needed. Much love.
Thank you, Elijah. Thank you.
Greetings, this is Valiant Thor.
Welcome. Welcome.
Someone did call me, I believe.
Yes, that was Michelle. Go ahead,
Greetings.
Michelle.
Greetings. Thank you for coming. You hear me when I speak to you.
Yes.
Yes. Our healing group has been doing a lot of work in a deep underground bases where humans are being held captive by regressive alien races. And we blast the whole thing, like the Dulce base, for example, with golden love and light, and use our heart lights to ignite theirs. And I'm just wondering, what kind of progress have we been making? And do I bilocate down underground at those bases with you?
You bilocate in some circumstances, but not all. And yes, the prayers and the love that you are sending is making a difference everywhere. It always does. It always will. It's like the butterfly effect. Everything you send out, does have an effect on the universe, not just the people that you're sending it to, but it has an effect on everything and everywhere. Now, I am not in your realm at this time. I am a captain of a fleet, and we are working with many people from your planet to make it safer, to make it more hospitable. And there are many that are trying, many, as you call, regressive aliens that would cause it to be negative in some areas. Not every area, but in some areas. So we are working to relieve that hostility.
I guess the human zoos came to mind, and that really touched my heart, and we have been focusing on that as well as other places, of course, but and I heard you speak on the Secret Space Program show, the James Rink show. And that's what, that's how it came into my awareness. And so, yeah, we've been doing that every day. And is there anything else we can do? Yeah.
Send your love and your prayers and meditate and send healing energy. This is the best you can do. There's no way that you can make yourself go to these places, because you don't know exactly where they are, for one thing. You know approximately where they are, but they move around. So they do not want to be found, and so they do move their spaces every now and then, so no one is aware of where they are. Now, these bases in New Mexico, is that where you said they were?
Yes, but there's several, not just that one, but that's one of the places we focus.
That one moves around a great deal as well. Also, the one in Mexico and the ones in the south move quite a bit. So some of the ones that are deeper underground do not move as much because no one knows where they are and they are not spoken of publicly. So, but you can find them through your prayers and through your meditations. So continue to find these places and pray for them.
And one member of the group has been doing light codes that she has infused into the planet. And not just in the Dulce base, but in the mountains, it came to our awareness that, these bases are all over the place.
Well, not all of them have human prisoners in them, not all of them. But there are a lot of bases that need to be found and changed. But not all of these places that you're thinking of have people in them. There are a lot of them that do, but there are a lot of them that don't. So there are stations that set up for different kinds of warfare and manipulation of the planet, but not always with just humans are they working. So I am here in this realm. I come back into third dimension every now and then to look in on it. I am basically in fourth density, but I'm trying to work from both.
Yes, I appreciate everything you do. And thank you for helping our group. Yeah, we're in service. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Did anyone else have a question? Let me just check. I don't see any other questions for you, but for people who don't know who you are, can you maybe give just a little explanation of when you were on the planet and
Well, I was here in the 1950s. I believe it was the 1950s. And I made myself aware to the president at that time.
right.
And at that time, he wasn't sure if he should believe me or not, but I think he did, because of some of the information that I shared with him was very beyond his understanding. He started to think maybe I was legitimate. And he treated me very kind and very fair, but I could not stay. There was too much going on at that time, and he was not in a place where he was going to grant me all the wishes that I wanted. And so I did not stay.
How did you initially get to the president, being just a person able to walk up?
Oh,
Is that-
that's just it. I am just very forward. I moved right through, and some of the guards saw me and they tried to stop me, but I looked at them and they didn't stop me because I could read in their heads that they know that I needed to go through. And so I just changed their mind.
How long were you here on the planet?
I was here several months, but I left after the public scene very quickly. But I stayed here for several months to do some experimentation and some I'm not at liberty to say everything that I was doing, but I wanted to tell you that yes, I was doing experimentation. I was doing some looking into some problems here in a different way than you might imagine.
And will you be coming back, or you do come back periodically?
I do come back periodically, but I do not stay on the earth for more than a few days at a time. There are people here that I communicate with. There are people here that need help and my service, and I'm here to help them. And that is why I am coming back to this realm at all, is to help the people that are doing very good work to move forward and to defeat negativity.
Well, thank you very much, and we hope one day you can come back publicly again.
Yes. I don't want to say that I will crash into the public eye again, because I don't think it's necessary with all the other beings that are here. But I will protect the earth, and the earth is also a very big concern of mine. So yes, we're here to help.
Thank you. All right, well, wonderful. Thank you so much. And we will see you again sometime soon, hopefully.
Yes, I will bring the next one. One moment. Yes, Earthlings, this is Enlil.
Oh, welcome. Welcome. Our dear Ryan had a question for you, if you're...
Oh, Ryan, what do you want?
Yes.
Yes. Oh, I'm
Greetings.
sorry, I didn't say that correct.
Obviously, we know each other very, very good. Yeah, in the past week, I've had a very productive, positive week. I finished my website. I did YouTube videos for my YouTube channel. I did several live events. And is this positive momentum I've been going through will continue in the future? Because whenever I'm positive and stay very productive, a lot of the Anunnaki beings in my consciousness sort of like step back and don't do much as long as I'm positive and work on my business. Is that going to continue?
Yes, as long as you're positive and working on your business. It affects all the things in your lifetime. It does affect the way everything works. Of course, you may expect a small attack here and there. They're not going to give up completely, but they don't like the positivity, and they don't like the fact that you're not thinking about them all the time. So the negativity is trying to find a way to get back into your good graces. But your good graces are in good things. So keep that up.
Okay, thank you so much. And my second question is, can you tune into my twin flame, Sean? Will we ever have a relationship ever again in the future? He's kind of in the middle of something right now with his life, as you know.
One moment. It is possible, but that is dependent on the both of you, because he has things that he has to work out, and you have things that you have to work out. And so if things move in a positive way for both of you, then things will happen.
Okay, that sounds good. And do you have any final messages for me in terms of my spiritual development? Thank you.
Your spiritual development is coming along. It has been prodded and poked, and a lot of times you have fallen back into the negativity, and it's been hell for you. But right
Yes.
now, things are much better because you have stayed positive. You have brought yourself into a greater element, and you're more prosperous and creative right now. You're creating and becoming a greater person because of all the things that you're doing and all the things that you're sending out. You're helping others, and that is a positive thing.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your advice. I appreciate it so much. I'll let others ask you questions. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Bola has a question. Go ahead, Bola.
Hola.
Hi, Neil.
Greetings.
It's really nice to connect with you.
Thank you.
I wanted to ask you about the moldavite stone. It's a green stone, a green peptide that I've been working with it for about a year now. I just wanted to ask, your perspective on what it does and the value of it.
Well, it is not a stone that can be found easily on Earth, as you know. It is in the earth at places, but it is actually from another place. It's not a human stone. It's not an earthling stone. And so it is that it brings in energy to itself and actually expands energy out from itself. And so as you are with the moldavite, many people have different understandings of it and many different ways to use it. So, but you can also make it what you want it to be. It's one of those kinds of stones that you can manipulate and bring in even greater elements of it because it is from outside this realm. It can be used in many different ways because it is attached to many different places and energies.
Okay, thank you. I like the diversity of it. It's very versatile.
Oh,
and
it is, yeah.
Also impacts on so many different areas, not just health, but abundance,
Oh, yes.
location, traveling. It's really made some significant differences for me. So I appreciate the work that it does.
Well, like I was saying, you can also identify all its different facets and all its different energies because it has more than one, as I was saying. And it can be used in multiple ways. And so because it is an alien stone in many respects, it has energies from many different places. And these energies can be utilized by human beings very easily when they understand the stone.
And just one more question. If you could just tune into my energy, and just because I've been working very closely with the Aldorians over the last few months. Are there other, because I've been feeling really well supported in the last week, especially. Could you tell, if you read my energy, what is my next thing to do now? What question would you ask if you were in my shoes, so to speak? And who else is working with me apart from the Aldorians?
The Aldorians and Andorians, they're two different species, actually.
Yeah.
Aldorians are on one side of the planet and Andorians are on the other. And the Andorians are more human looking, the Aldorians are not. And so, but they get along well. It's funny that the human looking ones are actually less evolved than the Aldorians. Aldorians are highly evolved. So it is that you are working with Aldorians. You are working with Octorians. There's some Octorians and Pleiadians around you. I see that as well. And these are all very positive beings. These are all beings that are wanting to share information and share thought processes with you and connect to your third eye occasionally. And I think you even felt that.
Yes.
Good.
Yes, in fact, I had to see an optician. I actually thought that I was having problems with my eyes, and I saw an optician 3 times in the last 3 weeks. So yes, really, really powerful, very pounding, like migraines, but there was nothing wrong with my eyes. So that was interesting. Yes.
No, they're actually, when that much energy can come in and you can handle it, it does seem very pressurized, but you'll get used to it. Your
Yes. No, it's
consciousness is
fine.
expanding. Yes.
Yeah.
Your consciousness is expanding. That is your awareness of what is in and what within and what is without. And so as that happens, you
Mm.
are becoming a little more they're talking to you and giving you a little more information. But it will come forth at some period.
And the question that you feel I should focus on right now, and if you tune into my energy,
Is where you can reach out to help others. This is the biggest thing in the world today.
Mm.
Many people need help, and many people are very lost. After the pandemic on your world, people are feel lost and alone. They've been disconnected, they've been unplugged, and they're having a hard time plugging back in again. And you can see it in the businesses everywhere as well. A lot of people never went back to work. A lot of people just stayed in their little shell and never came back out again. So they need help. And send energy out to those people that are like this, for they need to wake up and be part of the world and the oneness.
Yeah, I do that. I do that. I'll do
I
more.
know you do.
Thank you so much. Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Thank you. Angie, was there any questions in the YouTube chat?
Let me take a look. We've got, excuse me. What vibration do we work with to connect with inner earth being, with inner earth being?
Well, there's several. Go
I was
ahead.
gonna, will that help us connect with other non-dimensional beings also? And the $5 hug says, thank you, Will.
Will?
Yes. Let me explain. There is many different dimensions under the planet. I don't even know where to start with this question because I could talk about it all day. The beings that live within the planet here are in several different dimensions. They're not just in one. They're not just in fourth. They're not just in fifth, and they're not just in sixth. But there is there's also other dimensional beings that live inside your planet. And the reason for this is they've been there a long, long time, and this is their home now. This is where they have decided to stay. They could go back to their home planet, but they didn't want to, and they felt that they should stay here and work with the energies that are here. So when you are connecting with interdimensional beings under the planet's surface, most of them, the fourth dimensional ones especially, are close at hand, meaning that they are getting close to coming out to the surface. They want to show themselves. They want to be part of third dimension, as well as bringing many people to fourth density. So they are the ones that are most active at the moment, but there are many other species under there that have been there a long time. The draconians are fourth dimensional in some of their layers, but the red dragons are in fifth dimension, and they're violent, and they're not ready to come forth anytime soon. But the white dragons of the north and the dragons of the Himalayas underneath, those are a little friendlier. I would say the ones under the Himalayas are sort of neutral, but Donner and the white dragons are very friendly and working with the earth in many ways, but they're in fourth density. I could go on and on about all the different beings that are under there and how to connect with them. Meditation, through moving through your thought processes to the chakras of the earth. Mount Shasta is one of those chakras. Stonehenge is a chakra. Chichen Itza is a chakra. When you're thinking about these chakras, you're thinking about also where some of these beings are located under the ground, because they need that energy to survive. They need the chakral energy to be to stay aware and to be what they need to be. So if you're looking to find where they are, look at the chakras of the earth, because that's where the energies are, and the grids of the earth as well.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that. That's all the questions I have in YouTube.
Great. I had an additional question based on what you just said. You were talking about the energy that the different beings need to survive. When it
Yes.
comes to where you are, do you have a home planet?
Yes.
So like we benefit from sunlight and we get our energy from being out in nature. Is that the same with your species? Do you have an atmospheric connection to your planet? And how do you deal with that when you're on a ship for long
Yes,
periods?
we are from Nibiru, whatever you want to call it. Planet X. Some people, and they say, well, no one's ever seen Planet X. It's not in this density. It's in fourth density. So how you won't be able to see it. But we can make ourselves visible when we come nearby. We will show ourselves when we are coming this way. We have an incredibly large elliptical orbit around the sun, and we don't always show ourselves when we come by the sun or go around it, because we're very close at one point and very far away at another point. That's what makes it elliptical. We're as close as Earth at some points, but as far away as Pluto in other points. So we have our own energies, the way that we survive, and atmospheres, and our atmosphere keeps us well protected.
Okay. All right. Thank you for that. Let's see. Christine has a question. Oh, sorry. Wendy has a question. Go ahead, Wendy. Wendy?
Sorry, I was coming off of mute.
No problem. Okay.
Yes, I have a couple of questions. The energy has been really intense for me, where it's physically like shaking my whole body at night, where it's almost like I'm being pressed down into the bed.
Yes.
But last night I was having a dream of hundreds of people all coming up to greet me. And I felt like as I was like hugging them or greeting them, that they all had these elaborate costumes. And I'm just trying to figure out maybe what I was doing, what that was about.
It was celebration of your freedom through you have an association with many different species, and they are with you a lot, and you work with them a lot, and they are just showing themselves to you and congratulating you for the work that you've done. There are not all the species that you work with were there, but some of the main ones were. So it was that they were doing a meet and greet in the astral. Now, with the energies that you are feeling, they are from the sun and the solar flares. Solar flares have been very numerous, should I say? They have been very numerous recently, and they can be very devastating to humans. They can make you feel very tired. They can keep you awake at night. They can cause your body to move around and be jittery. They can cause many different side effects on the human body and brain. Remember, if your brain is being affected by solar flares, any part of the body can be reactive to that, because the brain controls the body. So when you're laying in bed, sometimes you feel like you're being pressed down. The brain is being felt like it's pressed down also, and so it will make the body feel that way. Or it will make the legs jump, or the arm jump, or whatever. Or it can make your eyes blink, or there are many different things that it will cause, even causing dream states to be very unusual. Doing things in your dream states that you would never think of doing as you live and breathe in your third density life. It will be exactly opposite of what you would do in your present life. You will dream about in that solar affected dream.
Okay.
Has that
That makes yes, that makes sense. That helps to clarify. I knew it was energy related. I just for that.
Oh,
That I
yes,
just didn't. Yeah.
it affects the
But-
brain.
But speaking of funny dreams, my husband actually said he was kicking his legs around. He said, yeah, he goes, you were tickling my feet last night. I'm like, no, I wasn't. But what was that experience that he was having?
Well, he was feeling the energies. The energy comes into the brain and it can cause many different reactions in the body.
I
It's
got
not
it.
that
I
it's
got it.
limited at all, especially when it's hitting the full brain. It can affect the parietal, the temporal, the frontal, the occipital lobes, the cerebral cortex, the cerebellum. It can affect the medulla oblongata, any part of the brain that is exposed to these energies can be affected.
Wonderful. I recently channeled a crystal dragon who said that this dragon was a multi-dimensional spokesperson for many councils that I work with. I'm not really aware of this dragon. Can you give me any insight on it? Is it a yellow, white, and golden, kind of orangey dotted? Because I saw like a scale and maybe it
No,
was a
it's-
sphere. So I don't know if they're connected or not. And then that's my last question.
They're called crystal dragons. They're not really made of crystal. They're biological material, but they're called crystal because they're so shiny, and they do have facets on them because the way their shielding is set up is that it reflects the light in very interesting ways, like it almost sparkles. So yes, it is a yellow orange kind of dragon. It can have brown spots, orange spots, yes.
And white, yes.
Yes, white spots, but it is faceted. I mean, the way the scales are look faceted and they sparkle in the sunlight.
Okay. And at the time they said they weren't going to give me a name. I needed to work with that, I guess, more. But do you get that same sense from them?
No, he has a name, and he will give it one moment. But it is not a name that you will remember.
I'll just hear it.
It's Frigikharschen Zenda und Zinda.
Thank you. Blessings to you. And
Yes.
thank you so much.
I'm not going to try to say that again.
No, that's fine. Yeah, maybe that's probably why he
But the
wouldn't give
last
me a
part
name
is
either.
Zinda, not Zenda. Zinda.
Zinda. Thank you so much. Blessings to
In
you,
fact, that's his nickname, Zinda.
Zinda. Beautiful. Thank you. Much love.
Yes.
Okay, Christine has a question. We'll come to you, Michelle, next. We're just trying to get everyone that hasn't asked one yet. Go ahead, Christine.
Greetings. I was wondering if you can tell me if 4D and 4-dimensional and 3-dimensional are in the same area, how does a 3-dimensional not run into a 4-dimensional?
Because the vibration is so different, you don't see the 4th dimensional. You won't go right through it. You see the dimensions are on top of one another. And so as you move from 3rd dimension to 4th dimension in your ascension, you will lose sight of the 3rd dimension when you move into the 4th dimension, and you won't see the 3rd dimension anymore, and it will be another whole place.
So if there's a group of 3 and 4 in one area,
Yes, they wouldn't see each other.
They wouldn't see each other.
But the 4th dimensional beings can move backwards to make themselves physical and visible to 3rd density beings, but humans are not able to move forward to be seen or to move into a 4th density yet. So it is a matter of the 4th density being to come back to the 3rd to communicate.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I didn't have any sense of it in the beginning, so
Yes.
thank you very much.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you. Thank you. Go ahead, Michelle.
Hi, thank you for being here. My
welcome.
question is to do with the Watchers. Are they fallen angels? And to be a fallen angel, is that necessarily a bad thing? Or does it just mean that they came down into this realm to be of assistance? So are the watchers benevolent and with good intent, or could you
Well,
explain, please?
The original watchers that is spoken about in the Bible were fallen angels that came to do harm to the planet. They wanted the sex, the lasciviousness, the physicality of what they saw humans doing. They thought it looked very enjoyable, so they came down to enjoy that. And when they mated with humans, they created the Nephilim. And the Nephilim are negative beings as well. But the thing is that we have lost track of the Nephilim in the sense that they were negative at one point. Now they are not so negative after they have been around for quite a while. But the fallen angels, the watchers that are here around your planet, yes, they are not negative beings. They are a different kind of watcher than the ones that fell to earth and wanted to do some harm. So it is a different kind of watcher that is very positive, that is bringing information to the planet, that is bringing the right technology to the planet so that it's safe and not as dangerous. But of course, humans can make anything that is safe unhealthy, so they have to be very careful.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. There was a question in the YouTube chat I saw from Laura. She says, I've heard that there are ant people who live in the inner earth. Can you tell us about them?
They are a different breed of the Anunnaki. The Anunnaki have more than one form. The Anunnaki are seen, I am Anunnaki actually. So I am more of the human form with the angel wings. We like to look pretty. We like to look powerful. We are very large. But we also have a species on our planet that was here in the northwest, or no, southwest of the United States, where they were called the red ant people. And they were called also Anunnaki. They called themselves Anunnaki because they were from the same planet as we are from. They are not the same species as we are, but they look like ants. And they are very friendly, tall, they're big. And the Indian populations of this planet are more aware of them than any other population on the planet. The Indian populations are the ones that really dealt with them.
Indians from India or indigenous?
Indigenous from your part of the country, down in the southwest, sort of central and southwest part of the United States.
Okay, interesting. Thank you. Thank you for that.
Anything else?
No, actually, that's all the questions that we have at this moment.
Very well. I will bring in the next group.
Thank you very much.
Very
Much
well.
blessings to you.
Many blessings. One moment. We are a collective. We are the mushroom people.
Wonderful.
We live in many places in the universe, and we communicate very easily through underground communication from our spore roots to our spore roots. We also communicate with the trees and with plants, those that are able to hear and understand. But we come in a gathering usually. Of course, there's some that come individually, but those are just scouts.
Interesting. So there's a question in the room you were in. Why don't we let
Ah, a question.
yes.
So the main question.
Can you
is-
lean in further, please, when you're asking, just and maybe lean a little bit? Yeah, perfect.
This thing.
Yes.
So the first question is, what is the intention or of the mushroom people for this planet?
We give ourselves to expand yourselves. Your mind needs expansion, and it needs to understand what this expansion is about. You do not understand it quite yet. Many of you use our essence for recreation, but we have greater things to teach you than just recreational thought processes. We want to teach you how to expand yourself and bring in other forms of spirits and communities into your realm, and understand that they are helpful and they are interactive with humans and can actually be part of this realm with you in a very positive way. We are here to expand you.
And what is the best way to receive connection with you in order to expand?
It depends on who you are. Sometimes microdosing mushrooms is actually more popular than doing grams of it. We do have all our understandings with most individuals, what they are doing. We are able to survive through this whole scenario because we can live in the system. Do you realize that? What we do is live inside of you. We do not die, never. Our energy may be released, but when you eat a mushroom, that energy is released within you, and it stays within you, and it is part of you, and is always working to help you expand. Does that make sense to you?
It does.
Good. What other questions?
And utilizing the mushrooms to unearth emotional issues, is that a good use?
It can be. It depends on the individual. If there are people that have psychological damages, then mushrooms probably would not be your first look for a result or a cure. You might want something else for that. We are here to expand the mind. We are here to open the emotions. So if the emotions are too volatile, then we would not want you to use us to expand that. We would rather you use us to expand positivity, beauty, and love, kindness, and goodness. We can cause many good feelings and sensations, but with some, we can cause negativity and depression, which we do not want to do. But that is up to each individual, how they perceive us and how they use us. And with the people that are around them, when they use us, or use these different mushrooms, there are different kinds, but we are here to be of a positive assistance.
Okay, thank you.
Remember, not everyone is the same. Everyone is different, and some of them can use us and not be affected badly, and actually have good and positive outcomes from using us, and we stay there to continue that outcome in a different way. But some of you may not have positive outcomes due to the fact that you're afraid of the use of us, afraid of the what may happen if you do use us. And so it is each individual and how they are brought into this realm and how they understand this realm and how they understand what we are here to do. Now, we do not have to be used in that way to be a positive makeup for this planet. We sometimes live in groves and communicate with the elementals so that we can actually interact that way. And that is another positive use.
Is there any way that there can be an overdose of usage?
Always there can be overdoses of usages. There is shut-off points for everyone. So you must know who you are and what you can handle. I would do it only in small increases. If you are going to dose higher, you must do it in gradual successions so that you do not hurt yourself.
I understand. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. Safira has a question. Go ahead, Safira.
Yes, hello, and thank you for being here. I have had a few questions for years. I didn't know anybody who can answer it, so thank you. So my first question is about nootropics and lion's mane mushrooms and mushrooms in coffee and things like that. For people who, first of all, are those as effective in their purpose? And
Yes.
they are, okay. So if somebody has a fungus overgrowth in their body or candida overgrowth in their body, is it not good to take these nootropics because they increase those things, or how is that?
It's not the same kind of fungus that causes illnesses in human bodies. It's a different kind of fungus altogether. And
Mhm.
so it would not affect that other fungus because they are not in the same species, so to speak, and they would not do the same things. What we do is something different than what those kinds of yeasts, funguses do.
Oh, well, that is great. Thank you. And usually microdosing is not psychedelic, right?
Not, no.
Yeah, okay. And one other question, completely different. In Star Trek Discovery, one of our science fiction shows here, which has some very advanced future technology in it, feature psyllium, meaning like a type of a fungus or mushroom, in order to do time travel through dimensions. They use psyllium. Are you familiar with that? And is that even something possible in the future?
Yes, it is. We are personally not that kind of mushroom, but there are some mushrooms in other realms that can expand not only consciousness, but realities.
That is incredible. I wonder how these writers get this information. They must be fed information without knowing it, perhaps. I don't know.
Everything that exists is aware. You are aware of everything that exists. Even
Yeah.
the things that you don't believe exist, you are aware that it exists. Because any thought that you may have is in existence somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's incredible. Okay. And thank you very much. And yeah, I wish you great whatever endeavors you're doing for the rest of your time in
Thank
life, in your life.
They're endeavoring to expand consciousness because consciousness is something necessary for humans to expand at this time.
Mhm.
The ancient mysteries of the past are to be coming forward once again, and mushrooms were part of that ancient discovery many, many thousands of years ago, and now they are a part of rediscovery in this day and age.
Oh, that's beautiful. Okay. Well, thank you for what you offer humanity and other races. Thank you.
It is not for everyone, but it is for most.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
I do have another question. Would simply asking for an intention before ingesting mushrooms to be just to expand the consciousness, would that be of the highest possible reception?
I would think it would be, but it depends on the individual and what their actual needs are. Sometimes there's a need greater than that. And so intentioning it for the greater need is what we want.
Makes sense. Yes.
And so as the greater needs fade away and you are able to deal with them in that way, then you must move forward to the consciousness and see what the consciousness holds for you, because the consciousness connects not only to the subconscious, the semi-conscious, but it also connects to the soul, which is a connection to eternity. So when you're dealing with mushrooms and other species of mushrooms as well, you're dealing with all of eternity in some senses, because we are attached to that through humanity, through species, through the eventuality of changing reality.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Okay, Lily Pad has a question. Go ahead, Lily.
Thank you. Hello.
Yes.
I have a question. In the area I live, I noticed that some, probably it's different. I noticed some trees, or most trees has fungus in this area. I think it's fungus. So I was wondering why this tree, it got my attention. So I was wondering about that. Would you?
Yes, it's a different kind of fungus than mushrooms, but it is, some of them are edible funguses and things of that nature. They are not all conscious or sentient funguses. They sometimes are aware, are always conscious of themselves, but do not have a sentience, meaning that they do not think for themselves. In many cases, they are just there to experience the living off the tree, the energy of the tree, their form, their nature, etc. Whereas mushrooms do have a sentience and a consciousness.
But the tree give permission to the fungus to do that? Because I feel kind of sad for that tree, that there's a tree.
No, it does not harm the tree. Not really. What it is a parasite on the tree, but the tree does not care about this parasite because the tree is already being nourished through the roots. It does not care if it has to nourish a small fungus on its side.
Okay, and I have a question that is there, the other day I was asleep in bed and I saw that someone, like a shadow, is there kind of shadow beings, and he was putting his hand on my head, and then I woke up. Is there kind of shadow beings in anywhere, or is it?
There are many shadow beings all through existence and time and space. You're starting to become more aware of these shadow beings in this realm because they are coming from other realms. So they are not harmful.
All
At
right.
least most of them aren't.
Okay, and last question. When I like cooking with mushroom, but I get bloated. Why? And then I was recommended shiitake, Chinese mushroom.
Yeah, shiitake.
Shiitake, yes. But I still get bloated, even worse. So what does it mean that it doesn't go with my genes, my biology?
It doesn't go with your digestive system. It doesn't have anything to do with your biology necessarily, but that particular digestive system is not wanting to eat mushrooms or has an awareness that these mushrooms are not the ones that they want to digest or whatever. So it is that each person is different, and we are beneficial to human beings. We do have many things in our makeup that are beneficial to humans. So, but not every human likes us, or not every human can eat us.
But okay, so what mushroom would you recommend for me to cook or eat? Or
well, if you have trouble with shiitakes and with the mushrooms of this realm over in your American side, then you might not want to eat any mushrooms because they all have some basic samenesses about them. But give them all a try and see if there's one that may not be so difficult for you.
All
I
right.
couldn't tell you exactly because I do not know your makeup or
Okay.
your stomach system.
All right. Thank you. That's all.
You're welcome.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, there's a question from Susan. Go ahead, Susan.
Hello. So I have a question about the the mycelium network that spans vast areas connecting trees and plants across a forest, for example, and how they communicate with one another in this expansive underground network, and how, I guess, if you could talk a little bit about that relationship and how the fungi and trees and plants benefit each other in this way.
It's like a nervous system. The roots talk to the roots, talk to the roots. And in your body, all your nerves talk to one another as they move through the system. It will go to where it needs to go to solve the problem. Or if you're supposed to feel pain from that, you will feel the pain where you're supposed to feel that pain. The network system under the ground throughout the planet in many places is like that system, a nervous system where we communicate to each other when there are storms coming, when there is droughts coming. We see things ahead of time and warn each other about these things, and also so that we can prepare for this kind of thing coming in our actual real realm, in our real-time existence as a plant, as a mushroom, as a fungus. So it is like a nervous system network.
Okay, wonderful. I have a second question that you may or may not be able to answer. I channeled last night for someone else that they had a lifetime as an obsidian dragon, and obsidian is a type of volcanic rock, basically, or that's what I know of obsidian. But I got that obsidian dragons once exist on the planet in areas where there was volcanic activity or seismic activity. I got like Hawaii or Machu Picchu, I think maybe at one time had volcanic activity, but specifically this person, I got that they were in like the Pacific Ring of Fire near the Philippines. So I'm just wondering if you can provide any information or confirmation about the obsidian dragons once existing here on the planet,
Well,
or maybe they still do.
You see the dragon culture. Excuse me. The dragon culture exists in Japan and China for a great deal of this, and for Indonesia and Philippines. And so this is where the obsidian dragons were.
Yeah, I kind of got in, the area of Asia
They
is
weren't
more
around
strongly, but
they weren't around the entire Ring of Fire, but they had special kinds of areas where they like to, they were created, and that was from deep within the ground where volcanic eruptions were very common and very frequent. And so these kinds of dragons were created from the biology of the inner earth.
okay. Did they still reside there, or are they off planet now?
I do not know of any that exist at this time.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Much love.
Sure.
Thank you for that information.
You're welcome.
Okay, I'm just checking. Angie, is there any questions in your YouTube chat?
Let me take a look. Is there a reason Terrence McKenna had such a deep connection to the mushrooms due to him and his brother growing it?
Yes, there always with a deep connection to mushrooms. That means you spent a life as one and understand what they go through in their lifetime. They are, and we are, of a thought process that is very open to expansion. As you see, our groves sometimes expand, sometimes diminish, but we are here to connect and move forward. Like the nervous system that I was speaking of, we connect with all those things that we can connect with underground. And many people that feel a great connection with mushrooms were either a tree, a plant, or a mushroom that could connect with the mushrooms and the trees.
What are the benefits of growing, excuse me, growing your own mushrooms versus wild?
I think some people are able to control the growth of their mushrooms by fertilizing them and giving them exactly what they need so that they become the biggest and best mushrooms they can be. A lot of times in nature, we do not get all the things that we need to be perfectly healthy, but many of those that cultivate their own mushrooms will give them all the strength and that they need, and they will be more powerful for them and more conscious for them.
Thank you very much. That's all the questions I have in YouTube.
And just one more. For the mushrooms, when you drop.
Can you lean in a little bit further, please, and lean towards the microphone? You're very hard to hear.
Yes, for the mushrooms, when the spores are dropped, when the sheaths come open.
Yes.
Is there any time that the spores can drop without sheath opening?
It has happened. Usually the sheath must open before the spores drop, but they have come out before then. I've seen it happen. All things are possible, but you don't get the most spores until the sheath drops.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. I believe that's all the questions we have for you. And thank you so much for being with us.
Very well. I will move on. We will move on.
Thank you.
Greetings, I am Takur.
Welcome to Takur. Welcome.
Someone did call me, I'm not sure who.
Yes, Angie did request you.
Ah, Angie, what is it that you will require from me?
I'm wondering if you could just talk to all of us about how the Gurkviknir has accepted or not accepted all the information with our Congress.
We have accepted it. It is what it is. It came out and we accept what they have said. We do not agree with everything that has been implied. That is all. We are happy to see that they are talking about UAPs. But we are sad that they bring them into a negative light, usually saying, we're not sure if they're harmful. I mean, I can understand their suspiciousness, but I do not know why at this point, because we have talked to them so many times and have shown them our friendly side so many times and showed them how well we can get along so many times. I do not understand their skepticism with us. Now, we see that they may be skeptical about certain species. Yes, that is possible. But with most species, they should not be that skeptical at this time. They should see that we have not invaded. They should see that we've not taken over their planet. They should see that everything is good with us. We're just wanting to open you up to the new realm out here, the neighborhood of the galaxy in the universe. That is all that we are wishing. We're not wishing to take over Earth's problems. We have enough of our own.
Thank you. Thank you. And then one of the people in YouTube has the same question as I do. How is our Earth doing? What are you guys working on? What is Kirk Bicknark working on to help maintain or sustain Earth?
The same as we always did, weather mostly. Right now, the weathers have different weathers. I don't even know if you can make that plural, but weather has been changing on your planet drastically, and we're seeing much more dangerous weather come. We're trying to take people out of harm's way and calm down the weather a little bit in some areas. There's nothing we can do about the heat because that is just, there's several things that we've already done to try to eliminate all that heat, but it did not work. So it is that we were not able to stop that, but we can stop some of the other things, such as taking people out of the way of tornadoes and things of this way. But it is difficult with the power that is being generated with these storms. It is just amazing. Plus, I know that there are others in different realms taking care of, there's even humans taking care of tectonic and volcanic and things of that nature, and vortexes and things, but we help with that as well. We help them to do their jobs, help them to get that tectonic in shape, or help them with some of the volcanic instructions, and there are just many of us working on that.
Thank you so much.
We're also keeping the axis in place. It has moved out of place several times, but we've moved it back into place, which also affects the weather. Because once the axis moves, the jet stream is also out of whack, and also the magnetic north has moved, and also the equator has moved. All these affect weather, tectonic, and volcanic experiences.
Thank you. I was going to ask about the equator as well. It has moved.
Yes, it's moved more north and more south. It's off center, so.
All right, that's all the
Hard
questions.
to show you.
Yeah, yes.
Okay, thank you. Michelle has a question. Go ahead, Michelle.
Greetings, Takur. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Can you give me an update on the government meetings, please?
Well, I've already given one, but I'll give you another. Yes, the government meetings went very well. There was a lot of information passed. Your government seemed to be a little bit more open to discussion at this point. Now, we discussed medical, which is one of the big points that we always discussed, is we want to bring higher medical care to your planet, and they are always against it because they only want it for their own people and not for the Earth. They said it would destroy their pharmaceutical and medical businesses, and that would destroy the world, et cetera, et cetera. But there are ways to take care of that. It's a gradual process, but they're not even looking at doing the gradual process. Also, first contact, they know that first contact has to happen. They're dreading it, but they are knowing that it's coming, and they're talking about it more, and they're talking about safeguards in the way that how can we protect ourselves from all these different beings coming in? How can we protect ourselves from negative beings coming in? Because once we're open to the galaxy and the universe, then all kinds of beings will be able to come here, and we will have trouble with them. And we are saying, yes, there will be some negative beings that will come here, but they are already here. So your negative beings that you fear so much are already here. They've been grandfathered in since the time of separation. Now, what we want to do is take away that time of separation and bring everything into a unified state, so to speak, and open it up so that you will have aliens that can come and go. But of course, not all of us are going to want to be on Earth right away. It's not like it's a great vacation spot. It is that it's a great place for us to give advice and tell you what you need to do a little bit. If you listen to us, you don't have to listen to us. That's the whole thing. We can give advice, you can ignore it if you want. But we would like to be able to have a conversation about what you're going to be doing out here in the galactic world, in the galactic universe, the galactic government. You will have a place there. And with that, you will have some things to say about other different species as well. So we're just wanting to unite and become a oneness of sorts. That is our intent.
Is there anything new about the Galactic Spouses meeting? And is it a possibility that we could meet on Ashtar Command, for example?
That would not be possible at this time. I know that it has been tampered with, that thought, but it will not happen. I don't think. There would have to be a great deal of trust for that to happen. Right now, they're still working on the areas on the Earth, but it is touch it and go because, of course, having so many species involved with these matters, it is always one of the species is not happy. Always someone is complaining. Always something is wrong. So we're hoping to get that figured out as well. It seems like the species from this galaxy, especially, are wanting full reign with this Area 53, and they're not going to get it. And so they're upset about that. But there has to be rules and regulations. We have to give you what you need to survive, and they have to give us what we need to survive. And it's not coming together as happily as we wish it would.
But do you see it happening within the next couple of years?
I see it happening. Yes. It will be the first couple meetings on your planet will be the test of if it's going to survive or not.
Okay.
I see that in the next maybe year.
Great. Thank you. Great news.
There are so many things discussed at the galactic meetings. It's hard to tell you all of them, but we're getting more openness with some of the countries, such as the smaller countries are always very open because they have little to lose. And the larger countries will not step in on them, or at least they wouldn't dare, I don't think, except for maybe the ones that are hostile. But they're not afraid of the hostile countries anymore. They're just saying what they feel is right. Most of South America is open for first contact. Most of parts of the United States are open for first contact. Canada, yes and no. Africa, no. Australia, yes and no. It's different in the different places, but the most open place is South America.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you so much. There's a question. Let's see. We'll go Joan, then Safira. Okay, go ahead, Joan. She hasn't asked a question yet.
Thank you. Greetings, Takur. Can you tell me about my work in Astral? I know I've been working with the violet flame around the planet. And just want to see how the progress.
There's much progress. You work with many different beings, and many of, not many of them, but some of them are here. Others are aliens. So it is that the grids are being opened with you. The stargates are starting to get renewed technology, and there are even humans working on upgrading the stargates, and humans even working to upgrade the grids and all the energies of the planet that make things happen. So yes, you're just part of all that.
Oh wow, thank you. So I've been dreaming a lot of aliens and they come into my house too, and they landed to my backyard in my dream, and they talk to my guides. And can you tell me what they talk about?
They talk about your missions in the mostly in the government portions, like the councils that you're on and things of that nature. You're on a couple different councils in the galaxy, and a couple different alien councils, such as the Orion Council or the Arcturian Council or the Pleiadian Council. There are some that you are invited to occasionally. They want input from humans. So yes, this is what they're talking about.
Oh, is it possible that I can see them physically?
That's up to them.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Safira, go ahead.
Thank you, Karen. Hello, Takur.
Hello, how are you?
Yeah. I'm okay as I can be at the moment. Thank you. So my two questions are, one is, according to some meteorologist or seismologist, there's increased activity, earthquake activity in the Yellowstone area, in caldera. So I wanted to ask you the Yellowstone possibility of explosion, and also the New Madrid fault. These are the two major faults running through America that would destroy everything if they went. Do you have any, and do we have time before those kind of things happen, or what do you see in that?
Well, we're moving the magma or lava or whatever you want to call it from
Mhm.
underneath your large calderas into southwest areas and southeast areas. And we're not moving anything north, but we are moving things south. So to get rid of it, the danger of a gigantic explosion, there will be volcanic eruptions in the northwest. There's no question that will have to happen eventually, but we're trying to feed some of that lava and magma off into other areas.
Okay. You mean the northwest, meaning in Washington State area? Is that what you mean?
Washington State, Yellowstone area, yes.
Okay, but not world level disaster events.
We're trying not to, yes.
Well, that's
like with the California and the tectonic plates there. We've also alleviated some of the pressure there so that a 9.2 earthquake is not even possible at the moment.
It's very comforting to know that you are all working on that. Thank you so much. And my other question has to do, you mentioned first contact. There's also, you mentioned the concepts working on Area 53. And you know that there's already a movement to get rid of the separation agreement, or at least amend it.
Yeah.
So it seems like the couples who are married to people that they love very deeply may not see them in their lifetime here. How do you see the separation agreement really realistically moving forward? And first contact, is that many years down the line until we can
No,
actually
I don't
start?
think so. I see the separation agreement as, at the moment, an arbitrary kind of an agreement that will fall away because it just, a lot of portions of it don't serve the people. And it's being pointed out to the human governments that this separation agreement does not serve the people in the way that they said that it would, because there are still abductions, there are still many things going on that are unsavory, and they're not stopping it with this separation agreement. And so the separation agreement is basically not working. So they have to either amend it or get rid of it.
Right. And that was, I mean, I can't imagine America, for example, agreeing if they're not cooperating in your talks during the government meetings about visitations and your help. I can't see them agreeing to the separation agreement. And without America, it's not going to be ratified, right? To get rid of it. Do you know what I mean?
Well, there are a few countries that have to be involved.
Right.
China, United States, Canada, well, not so much Canada, but Great Britain, Germany, Russia, Australia.
Right.
And actually India.
Uh-huh.
Japan as well, but to a lesser degree, because they're already fairly open to a lot of things.
What do you see happening first? Not, you don't know exactly, but for those of us waiting to be able to see our spouses, what do you see as a more realistic thing happening first? The first contact or the separation agreement being relieved?
The separation agreement being relieved.
Okay.
I see that first, yes.
All right. Thank you, Takur, for all you do. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay, thank you. Let me see. Lily Pad, you had a second question? Or wait, I want to make sure I had the right orders. 1 second. No,
No.
Ryan has a question. Did Bola ask a question yet? Bola's turn. Go ahead, Bola.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much, Krishna Priya. Hi, Takur.
Greetings.
I wanted to ask about dental health. I noticed that, generally speaking, the dental health of the population in the developing countries, for instance, Africa, generally tends to be better than in the West. I mean, there are several reasons for that. Could be diet, could be maybe chemicals, but there's a recent, I wanted your perspective on that. And there's also this recent announcement here in the UK about not needing to rinse out fluoride toothpaste anymore. So after many decades of people being asked to rinse out toothpaste thoroughly, after, when brushing, there's now a standard instruction not to actually bother to rinse it out at all. And I wondered what was behind this, if there was
well,
yeah.
The fluoride toothpaste can affect the pineal gland. This is what it's about. They don't want people to become psychic or be more psychic. They don't want people to be rising up and saying or intuitive in any way. So the method of rinsing out the fluoride is become passe to them. They're going, well, if they don't rinse it out, then we're in a better shape because their pineal gland won't advance. So
right. Okay.
They are already aware of what can happen with fluoride.
Yes, that's true. So it's definitely a covert agenda there. Definitely.
Of course.
Yes.
But
Wow.
it is like, to rinse it out.
Yes, definitely. Yes. Thank you, Takur.
You're welcome.
Okay, thank you. Ryan has a question. Go ahead, Ryan.
Greetings. I just have a brief question. I've been reading a book called Greetings from the Galactic Federation and its history from this author, Douglas Pratt. And it has a channel information about Thoth, the Egyptian deity. And I'm not sure some things in it are accurate. For example, Thoth said to Douglas that he's a Palladian and he used to be the former galactic commander of the Galactic Federation. Now, I know Thoth is a Blue Avian, not a Palladian, but can you validate, can you validate any of that? Those two things?
No, he's not.
I knew it. I know he's not.
He's not.
So that's false information. And also, was he ever a former commander of the Galactic Federation?
Not that I know of. He's a much higher he rules much higher than that. He is
Well, I know about Toth because I have Merlin and Quetzalcoatl here, so
he's
that's his other
higher-
aspect.
Yes.
So this entire book, this one person write about Toth is false channeling.
I would think so, yes.
Okay, I just want to make about. Yes,
I don't know.
wanted
I
to-
have not read the book. I don't know what
Yes.
they say in the book, but those two pieces of information are not correct.
All right, thanks for validating it. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Right.
Okay, thank you. Susan has a question. Go ahead, Susan.
Hello. Hello, Takur.
Greetings.
So I've been experiencing, I would say the last week or so, like a tingling sensation in the back of my neck and to the left of the back of my neck. And after doing some reading, that's related to the chakra that exists there, that it may be just, I've been told it's just my I guess higher, more expanded sense of consciousness lately. Like I'm more aware of it, that it's always been there as perhaps like a channeling entry point. Because
Yes,
it
it can
seems
be.
like when I'm speaking light language or channeling, that's where I'm feeling it more. And then also my psychic abilities, telepathic abilities seem to be ramped up with the heightened energies on the planet. So I'm just wondering if you could speak to that. And I'm sure others are experiencing these type of sensations or awarenesses.
Well, behind the third eye is the God chakra. Behind the throat chakra is the angel chakra. So you have very high chakras in this area up at the top of the head. And so when these kinds of things tingle, the God chakra and the angel chakra, that is, yes, they can be communication points. They can be channeling areas. They can be things opening up. They can be ways to get more information through. They can also be where they can send a download. They can also be places where they can send infusions or medical help. So these areas at the top of the head, behind the third eye is the God chakra, behind the throat, angel chakra. So these are areas that are very important when it comes to higher beings.
Yeah, I also felt it too on the right side, on the frontal lobe, I guess, on the right side last night after I got done channeling. It was like a pain there, or a sensation there.
Don't know if that would be from channeling, but sometimes the energy of the sun recently has been causing a lot of pressure and pain on people in their minds because the solar flares are intense and they do affect the circuitry of the brain and the circuitry of your phone and the circuitry of your computer, etc. How many people in the room have been experiencing a lot of phone problems? Because phone problems are one of the biggest things that we are noticing now from the solar flares, is they affect the delicate iPhones or Andromeda phones or whatever that you have. They affect the phones a lot, and it'll just jump into a mode without you putting it in there, or it'll do something that it's not supposed to do because it's being affected by the energies and properties of the sun.
Okay. I know others have questions, so I'll let you go. But thank you for coming today. You're one
You're
of the
welcome.
people I wanted to come, so thank you.
Thank
You're
you so much. Sorry to interrupt. Okay, Wendy has a question. Go ahead, Wendy.
Thank you so much. Greetings to Kurt.
Greetings.
This upcoming November, we're going to be making a trip to Sedona. And I'm wondering, because I saw Tenyana Melamine, which is my, I guess, soul self, her name written on a red, like a sandstone cliff in one of my visions. And I'm wondering if that is kind of like just calling out for the galactic connection, or what that meaning was behind that, and who we'll be connecting with while we're there.
The thing is, that's an ancient connection if it's on the stone. So you have some people that are going to make some very ancient connections in this travels. The past is a very amazing and wide open place to go. Very little is known about Atlantis and all the different periods that have been gone through Atlantis, and very little is known about the peoples that existed on your southwest at that time, eons ago. Some of them disappeared, and what happened to them? They rose. Some of them disappeared because they rose. Some of them left in ships. Some of them left with the Anunnaki. So it is that there are many different mysteries that will be looked at during this trip.
Okay, thank you. Are there any ships that we'll be connecting with directly while we're there?
Bashar ships.
Bashars? Okay. A Sasani, which I have a connection to. So wonderful.
A Sasani, yes. And you will have not only Bashar, but there is another being called Shabin. Shabin is another Sasani.
Is that an aspect to me?
No, he is an Asasani being.
Okay. Because I know I have an Sasani aspect. I haven't made the connection with the name yet.
Yes, they will make that connection probably.
Okay. Beautiful. Thank you so much for that information. Blessings to you.
Also, there's another Asasani that you need to look at, and his name is Shell.
Shell? Okay, got it. Thank you so much. I appreciate your assistance as always and your guidance.
You're welcome.
Okay, thank you. All right, let me just see if we have any. Angie, do you have any other questions in the YouTube?
Sure. I think you already answered this one. Laura Kurt asked, she said, with disclosure being discussed in Congress, are we closer to a physical contact of our galactic family?
I believe we are. It is getting to the point where they cannot keep anything a secret anymore. There's too much information being spread around the world through iPhones and internet and all these things, so they cannot hide anything anymore. And so the ability to hide things was their biggest help in the past, but they cannot do that anymore. So they have to come clean in some senses, because otherwise the people will not trust them, because the people know that they know, and the people know that there is aliens out there. The people know what is what, and the governments have got to admit it.
Right. Shambra Guruja says namaste. Takur, welcome to India. Thank you for your presence and new wisdom. Much love to you.
Thank you, and to you.
Solaris Stain. I keep seeing and feeling an African presence. He calls himself Milkinnaku and is supposed to be an ascended master. Can you tell me who this is?
It is an ascended master, but not from this planet. Milkinnaku is from another place, another time, but has visited this world many times. And he has helped the African people out centuries ago. He was in Atlantis also. So yes, you might have some higher connection to him. He is actually from a planet in the Orion area.
Thank you. Elizabeth Beam just wants to send you love and hugs to the Gerfickner family.
Much love to you, Elizabeth.
That's all I have here.
Okay, thank you. We've got about 10 minutes left. Let me just see if there's any more questions. Lilypad has one more question. Go ahead, Lilypad.
Hello, take care. Thank you. I was wondering about, you said alien disclosure in South America. What is the purpose if there is a disclosure? Well, I know people have friends and family there. So I know they talk about it, and even some people are very excited about aliens. They cannot wait. Anyway, but what's the purpose of what are you gonna do after the disclosure in South America? What's the plan?
Well, South America is very open because there's so many megalithic sites there, and there's so many awarenesses of aliens. The Nazca lines, the temples, Machu Picchu, Pumapunka, many things there that are just so obviously alien. And so when the disclosure in South America is already pretty full, but they are smaller countries. Well, I don't say Peru is, because Lima has 8.5 million people, and neither is Brazil. They have millions and millions of people. So it is that they're just more ready. That's all.
Yeah.
Chile, especially, and
Yes.
Argentina.
Yeah, those two for sure. Yes, people talk for many years about they look at them like and now it's normal.
Yes, because they've made themselves aware to the people of Chile,
Yes.
Argentina.
Yeah, more the south. I guess it's close to the Antarctica, and I guess
Yes.
that's why they're more connected and they feel them and they communicate. Anyway, thank you. Last more question. What can you tell me about the shadow beings? Are they all different kind, or they have a good
There
intention?
are many different kinds of shadow beings. Some of them are very positive, some of them are not. I cannot really tell them apart sometimes, but I can tell them by their actions. So if they do something negative, I can tell that they're shadow beings. But there's a lot more species of shadow beings than I'm aware of, and you cannot really identify them except by height and by how dark they are and all these things, and it's very difficult to tell them apart for me.
Would you be able to tell me the one that visited me this week? Is that good or bad? I mean,
I don't think any negative shadow beings have been around you. I would sense that. I don't sense that.
Okay, well, thank you.
You're welcome.
So sorry, I was trying to check to see the time. We have a few more minutes left, but would you be able to do a blessing for us?
Of course.
Well, actually, Joan has one more question. Let me ask that first. She said, can you ask, she's saying, can you ask about Shasta Tea? If she's an ascended master from Lemuria, do you know about her and what work did she do?
Shasta Tea?
Or Shanistea?
Shanistea?
Shanistea, yes.
One moment. I am not familiar with that name, but it sounds like it could be an ascended master. One moment. Lumerian, is that correct?
Yes.
One moment. Yes, she is an ascended master from Lumerian. She is someone that was in charge of leading the Lumerians out of what is it called? My mind just went blank. She was one of those Atlanteans that led her people out of Atlantis when she saw the destruction coming.
Okay.
That is the main thing I saw from her. She
All right.
led people out of Atlantis.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much for that. And we are out of time, and I was going to ask if you could do a blessing, and then we'll take some blessings in the room.
All right. I will do a blessing.
Thank you.
Wota ohuyatieshu. Yikwa awatian utiesim dieta akya makapiti inyu. Freya. Uwa iye naneshim jiro. Aia re. Chishin zafogwa fat. Natapa la andivi. Sikchivia omjo. Frichu wada. Not here kwatu insis. May God richly bless all of you and keep you away from harm and away from those things that would bring you down and cause negativity. We only want you to advance in the positive ways. We want you to advance in goodness, kindness, and all the ways of positivity. We want you to connect with the higher realms of higher spirits and higher thought processes, so that you will know that you are in good hands and that there will be much that you will understand in the future. Let the future come now. Let it be part of what you are doing in your everyday life. Let it be part of your significance. Much love to you and many blessings.
Thank you so much. Okay. We thank you for being with us, Takur. Thank you so much.
You are welcome. Hello?
Hello, welcome back.
Hi.
Thank you for a beautiful channeling. A lot of beings came. A lot.
Yeah.
A lot.
Okay.
So we'll do some blessings and then we'll go to announcements and then we'll say goodbye till next time. Will Mitchell will be here next week, if I'm correct.
Excellent.
Yes.
Excellent.
Looking forward to it. Okay. Go ahead. We'll go Wendy, Susan, and Bola. Will, you are correct. Okay, go ahead.
Thank you. Ito tu yana nara ishikure ni ito yana nara ta huyira nara ta ishik tu yana apa yana ka ito tu yita inuhuru tu yahata ta ini unara apa hishu juara ta ruinya niura.
Keep your spirit strong. Let it grow. Let it immensely be encountering others and engulfing them and making them feel the spirit that is within you. Let the love flow out. Let the energy of the spirits be within the room with you. And let it all find a way to bring prosperity and beauty to you and to the people that are there. It is a time for expansion, and expansion is what is happening, and it cannot be stopped unless you stop it. Do not allow that to happen. Allow it to bring forth the greater good.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, Susan, go ahead.
Tosia ye sikutoya ye sia. He te ya tukua ye tia ye sia kutuha ye sia. He sia tukua ye tia ko te ya tia hukuya isika ya tua. He sia kua ye sika ya tua ye sia tua ya sikia sukotoya. Blessings.
There are many gifts for all of you. Accept them, receive them, and do not be afraid of them. They will grow within you and be helpful to others and to yourself as well. Do not be afraid of the things that God is giving you, for He is giving you this awareness for a reason. He is giving you these things so that you may help the world, encourage the world, and bring the world to a higher place in understanding. Go out and be a blessing to others.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Bola, go ahead, Bola.
Thank you, Karen. These are the six-dimensional Aldorians from the planet Aldor who are here to help us create a new Earth. Ketarama sotoro shuru saramka, krantiri soromo shotoro sotoro so, kretiri masatara sotoro sho, kri satara makasa, kantiri makara sotoro mokro shotoro sa, krantiri sotoro shoro mosotoro sara, kratara masotoro shere sere, kratiri mosotoro shara sere, krantara masata. Thank you.
May the spirit awaken in you and be like a new life within you, so that you can feel and know that he is growing and giving you strength and health and understanding. It is time to be strong. It is time to be independent. But also it is a time to work together. But you all know what I mean. It is a time for expansion, and this expansion must happen soon and quickly, for it is time for the earth to change, and is changing already.
Thank you. Beautiful. Okay, so thank you to everyone. Thank you to everyone in the YouTube chat, everyone in the Zoom room. We'll be back, as I said, next week with Will Mitchell. Angie, let's Michelle go first, and then Michelle, do you want to do your announcement real quick? And then we'll have Angie conclude with hers.
Thanks, Karen. Yes, we have a healing group, and we gather Monday to Friday at 11 o'clock Atlantic time, 10 o'clock Eastern. And it's to, by intention, sending healing and energy to different places on the planet, plus healing people, bring your healing requests to us. We'll all focus on them and advance them. Everyone's welcome. We also, Thursday night at 7 p.m. Atlantic, we gather again. The link is in the Hucolo main page, and everyone's welcome. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We'll also put the link in the description of this video. Okay, Ange, if you want to do your announcements.
Thank you so much. We have our class scheduled, we have our gathering scheduled August 8th through August 12th, 2024. If you're interested, please send an email to classes@hucolo.org. It's $6.95 a person. It's all encompassing for those days. Gathering, meeting your star family, gathering with us, creating a oneness. This is something that we've never done before. This is going to be a very exciting gathering and very exciting time. We are offering a payment plan for those that have, because it is so far in advance, we had to book a year in advance because it's not even available for the rest of this year. Their summer is already booked. So that's why we scheduled it for next year. So if you're interested in that payment plan too, you can, again, email classes@hucolo.org, and we can set something up that is helpful to you and your pocket. We want to make this available to everyone. We really do. We really want to have as many people, as many as our group, come together.
Thank you so much. I'm just going to change something. I'm not going to post this Zoom link on YouTube. I'm going to let everyone please go to the Facebook group for the Zoom link to the prayer group, because I think that might be asking for some people coming in for willy-nilly. So please go to the Facebook group, the Hucolo main page, and it'll be on there. All right. Thank you to everyone. Have a fantastic week. And as I said, next week, we'll be back with Will Mitchell, and we'll see you very soon. Thank you. Much love to everyone.
Thank you.